Look at Holloway. On the right is Holloway against Volkanovski in the trilogy at 145. I know lighting comes into play here. I get it. On the left is Holloway against Dustin Poirier at the weigh-ins, by the way, not in the cage. At the weigh-ins against Dustin Poirier. I know lighting plays a factor here, but he's in a completely different level of shape at 145 compared to what he was when he stepped up and fought Poirier at 155. You know? So his difference is night and day, but I want to show you the pictures of Holloway after weigh-ins, when he actually got a chance to, like, you know, he's obviously going to be looking lean at the weigh-ins at 155 because he's drained himself, he hasn't eaten anything, you know, he's all sucked in, he's got no liquids in him, so he's still going to look somewhat lean. You know, when you wake up in the morning sometimes and, oh, there's a 2-pack there, you know what I mean? Holloway at 155 against Poirier. These are pictures of him. It's a fat 145 Holloway. In the face, I know swelling comes into play, I get that, but in the face you can see it. In the body, like, there's no definition here. There's belly, there's love handles. Like, this don't look like an in-shape Holloway for 155 pounds. So I really like that we're hearing in this interview that Max Holloway is planning on actually taking it serious, bulking up, and actually building himself into an 155 pounder from a fight that he's known about since October. This ain't, February came around, 1st of February. Holloway, we kind of need you at UFC 300. Move up to 155. No, he's known about this for months already. He's still got a long time to prepare for it as well. He's arguably known about it for 3 months. He's going to have bulked up and have a much better performance than he did against Poirier. And he almost beat Poirier. He almost beat Poirier in that fight. There was a moment in the 4th round where Poirier was breaking. If anyone's ever seen the fight, you'll know what I'm talking about. There was a moment in the 4th round or the 3rd round where Poirier is legitimately breaking to Max Holloway. He's breaking. He's covering up. He don't like it anymore. Holloway's starting to get some momentum, put together like a 10-piece combo. And Holloway throws a flying knee for some reason. And Poirier ends up stuffing it and pushing him up against a cage. And it kind of saves Poirier there that he went for that flying knee. Because if he kept punching to the body and the head, I reckon he arguably could have... There's a chance he could have got Poirier out of there in that moment. If you look at the body language of Poirier, it was just slightly less bad than the body language he had at the end of the 2nd round against Dan Hooker, let's just say. And I think Holloway even went for a dash choke on him at some point in that round, and Poirier just let it happen because he was exhausted. Got his second win in round 5. What I'm saying is, though, Holloway's got a much better chance. This is Gaethje without a beard. He needs to grow it back for UFC 300, or Holloway's got a much better chance of getting the win. The Poirier fight was way closer than people remember when he moved up. He's known about this since October, when Oliveira was still scheduled to fight Makhachev. When he fought Poirier, it was on way terrible conditions. He just fought at 145, just had the holidays, got called up on 6 weeks' notice to make 155, where he ended up fighting Poirier in the rematch. It was a terrible card. They needed him to save it. So he just stepped up and saved the day because it was an awful card to begin with that had Dwight Grant versus Alan Jouban on the main card of a pay-per-view. I want to talk about this as well. Justin Gaethje's record is what we're looking at here. You can see the head kick there against Poirier that he got. But we're also looking at a majority decision against Rafael Fiziev. Okay? This is a unanimous decision at UFC 268 against Michael Chandler. There seems to be a narrative as well about this fight that Max Holloway is going to get chinned by it. This is going to be the fight that ruins Holloway's chin. Gaethje finished Poirier with a head kick. He got finished by Oliveira with a rear naked choke. The last time Gaethje finished a fight with punches was against Tony Ferguson. I don't see him flatlining Holloway with a head kick. Just don't see it. It's going to have to be done with punches, in my opinion. And maybe you could say, well, Holloway's easier to hit than Poirier. He's easier to hit. I don't think he's easier to hit than Chandler. Just going to be honest with you. And Gaethje had his KO spree up until the Tony Ferguson fight, but then lost to Khabib, went to a decision with Michael Chandler, and went to a decision with Rafael Fiziev. I'm willing to bet Holloway's got a better chin than Chandler and Fiziev. Maybe Fiziev, and we'll find out in due time, even though he has been TKO'd with a spinning back kick to the face by Magomed Mustafayev. Even though we don't know really how good Fiziev's chin is, it might be amazing. I think there's enough evidence to suggest that Holloway has a better chin than Fiziev. If you had a chin tier list, you're putting Holloway at the very top. Fiziev might not even be on it based on the lack of evidence that we have. I bet you he's got a better chin than Chandler. The narrative around Michael Chandler is that he's chinny. That's the narrative around him. Oh, you know, he's got wicked power, but man, you touch him once and he starts to fold. Gaethje couldn't put him out. Landed big shots on him. There's moments in round 3 of that fight where Chandler is walking forward with his hands down by his side, chin up in the air, for no... I don't know why he does it, but this is what Chandler does to make sure he loses a fight, because he's got a humiliation fetish. And Gaethje still weren't putting him away. So I think at a high-paced fight, don't count out Holloway, man. I'm not over the idea of potentially picking him here. I think a lot of people, when they saw the reaction to this, are just like, dude, it's stupid. He's being fed to Justin Gaethje. I'm like, dude, these are 2 top-level fighters, and Holloway has massively improved. I know Gaethje has as well, but look at the recent Holloway we're seeing at featherweight. He's massively, massively improved since his last move up to lightweight. And now his preparation's going to be improved. He's going to have bulked up into a proper 155-pound build, so he don't end up looking like this on fight day against Justin Gaethje. I think we're going to see a much better Max Holloway, and I think he's going to give a war to Justin Gaethje that Gaethje might get the better of. I also want to talk a little bit about low kicks. Holloway's been low-kicked. I know it's a weakness for him, and Gaethje's probably kicking harder than a lot of these featherweights that have been able to pull it off against Holloway. But I've never seen a fighter take so many calf kicks and low kicks while showing very little effect to them. It's not like we've seen Holloway limping on one leg so many times before. He took so many against Yair. I know they're there to be landed, which is why the argument exists for Gaethje fans and Gaethje pickers, let's just say. They don't have to be fans. But Holloway takes low kicks really well. He takes low kicks very well. He's got a better chin than Fiziev and Chandler, who Gaethje couldn't put away. And he's got proper time to prepare for 155. Looking forward to it. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Toodle Pip. Goodbye.